Hey there, I'm the Spectre, and Super Smash Bros. For Switch is on the horizon. Because I want to talk about the game, I'm telling y'all what characters I would like to see included. In this video, I will only be discussing the third-party characters I would like to see. If you want to know my first-party picks, go check out my video on first-party characters. Similarly to my previous video, I will only be going over a few characters here. However, I will be going very in-depth, coming up with some potential move ideas, as well as a final smash. It should be noted that I do not play Super Smash Bros. Competitively, and as such my potential movesets will probably be impractical, so be sure to come up with some movesets of your own in the comments below. It should also be noted that my video does contain a few indie characters. Each of these characters have either had their games localized to Japan, or are getting their games localized to Japan, so them getting them to Smash is at the very least possible. Without further ado, let's begin. Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle is an underrated gem on the Switch. Sure, it was praised at launch, but I barely hear anybody talk about it now. I don't understand why, as it had a fun concept, excellently crafted mechanics, and engaging level design, but that's besides the point. If you combine every playable character from the game's moves, you would get a crazy awesome moveset that I feel will work excellently in Super Smash Bros. Of course, we need a character to represent these possible moves, and due to her funny personality and prominence in the game's advertising, I believe Rabbid Peach is the most likely candidate. For her standards, she could maybe do a series of twirls and dash-esque moves, doing a full dash as her dash attack, as it is one of Rabbid Peach's most notable traits, since she can consecutively dash 4 enemies in one turn. Her standard special would obviously be her blaster, her trademark weapon. Her dance special could be setting up and launching a sentry, which would explode after moving for a few seconds. Her up special could have her throw a Grenaduck similarly to Yoshi throwing an egg. Her smash attacks could utilize the melee, or maybe she could use the Rumble Bang at close range. As for her final smash, perhaps she could fire a massive shot from a boom shot that works similarly to in the game, in that the closer you are to the blast, the more damage you receive. This moveset, or something similar, would be a lot of fun and incredibly unique as well, being only really similar to Samus, in that both movesets utilize both long and short range attacks with a lot of boom. Some may think I'm absolutely insane for thinking a Rabbid will get him before Rayman, and while yes, I am insane, I have my reasons. Rayman has gotten very little love over the past few years, only getting 3 new games in the past decade, only 2 of which didn't have the Rabbids, and only 1 of which was Nintendo exclusive, although Legends was originally planned as a Nintendo exclusive. The Rabbids, on the other hand, were important enough to get a crossover with Mario, you know, the company's mascot. Because of this, I believe the Rabbids are ever so slightly more likely to make it in than Rayman. For a third-party game, Octopath Traveler has gotten a whole lot of attention, getting constantly mentioned in Nintendo Directs, and even having its own major portion in the September 2017 Direct, so clearly Nintendo likes it. This makes me believe that some character from the game has a solid chance of getting in. As for which character, I honestly have no clue. The game has yet to be released, so we have very little information on which characters would be unique and fun to use. Based off what we've seen in trailers, Primrose and Tressa seem rather unique, but we don't know enough to determine whether they'd fit for sure. But what if instead of selecting just one of the 8 playable characters, they combine them all into a single moveset? Preposterous, you must be saying, and preposterous it may be to those who didn't see the March trailer that showed you could combine classes, therefore meaning any character could use any move in the game, albeit never all at once canonically. But then, you must be asking yourself, which character will they use as a poster boy / poster girl? All of them! Smash 4 has shown us that multiple characters can share the same slot and have the same moveset, and considering each of these characters are roughly the same size, hitboxes wouldn't be a problem either. So having the Octopath Traveler characters share a slot isn't far-fetched in the slightest. Plus, how many characters are in Octopath? 8. And how many alternative costume slots are available per character in Smash 4? 8. Coincidence? I think not. Conspiracy? Maybe.
Hotel Trivago.
Bomberman was thought to be dead for a solid many years, so despite many wishful thinkers, his inclusion in Smash seemed very unlikely. Then along came Super Bomberman R, one of the first Bomberman games in nearly 8 years, and one of the truest at that. And what's that, you say? A notable launch title for the Switch? Someone sound the Smash alarms, we have a likely third-party candidate here. Obviously bombs are going to be a big part of his moveset. Creating and then throwing a bomb for a standard special, maybe kicking a bomb as a side special, remote bombs that can be detonated at a specific time for a down special, and doing an explosive bomb punch or maybe checking a short-range power bomb for his smash attacks. As for recovery, he could equip the bomb jet from Bomberman Hero. For his final smash, he could create a devastating, dangerous bomb that would explode and deal insane amounts of damage. Another cool idea I had was that his alt costumes could be some of the other Bomberman brothers, especially because there are 8 of them and 8 character slots, so it makes sense. Bomberman would be a blast to play as, and considering his demand, I don't really see him being super unlikely either, especially because Super Bomberman R was a launch exclusive for the Switch. Let's hope for the best for this bombing boy. Nintendo has been pretty warm with their indie pals of late, so while I wouldn't say indie characters are likely per se, they're definitely on the table. And the most likely indie character is definitely Shovel Knight. The guy first appeared on Nintendo, well, as well as PC. Spectre of Torrent was a Switch launch exclusive, and the game even has its own series of amiibo. As for movesets, most of its standards and smash attacks would revolve around Shovel Strikes and Charged Shovel Strikes respectively, with maybe the Dust Knuckle thrown in. His specials, on the other hand, could revolve around the use of relics. Flare Wand for his standard, Chaos Sphere for his side, maybe placing a mobile gear down and then riding it for his down. His recovery could potentially be a vertical version of the Propeller Dagger. As for a final smash, what if Shield Knight were to join him and they would do a special finisher, similar to that of Robin? Shovel Knight would be an enjoyable and unique character, and would be a good way to represent indies. Well, either him or... Shantae may be an indie franchise, but she's been around on Nintendo console since the Game Boy Color, and every Shantae game has been on a Nintendo console. Combine that with her possibilities for a unique moveset, and you have yourself a rather likely candidate, likely on par with Shovel Knight for a chance at Smash. As for movesets, I've gotta be honest here, I've never played a Shantae game. Don't get me wrong, I want to, I've just never had the chance. So instead of being a big stupid and coming up with a moveset with the little bit I know about the franchise, I took to the internet to find a good moveset, so credit to 8Peacock8 on Smash boards for these ideas. His standard moveset would consist of a variety of hair whips, kicks, and flips, with an elbow dash and some more powerful kicks for his smash attacks. Her specials could consist of a Storm Puff for her neutral, a Fireball for her side, a Pike Ball for her down, and a Hair Twirl for her recovery. Her final smash would obviously revolve around one of the animal transformations, but as for which one, I don't know. Perhaps they could make it so you could pick a transformation each time you get a Smash Ball, similarly to Opa Opa's All-Star move from Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Her moveset would be rather unique, and it would be really cool to get some indie representation in Smash, as well as more female representation. Including Shantae would be genius! So, Undertale's on Switch now. Is the character likely from that game?
Oh, hell no!
But it's fun to speculate. When people think Undertale and Smash, the first character that often comes to mind is Sans, due to his memorific nature. However, I don't believe his moveset would be very varied, as most of his attacks would revolve around dem bones. Besides, he's already in Smash. Do you seriously want another clone character? As for other characters... Mettaton? Mettaton probably has the most unique moveset out of the main cast for his boss, utilizing soul attacks, disco balls, and miniature versions of himself. Not only that, but he's seen using a variety of weapons in other events, such as chainsaws, baking ingredients, bombs, and walls of fire. While his EX form is more well known, his regular form is what he spends most of the game in, so using that would make more sense. For his standards, a series of punches would make a bit of sense, seeing how his arms are his only real limbs. And maybe he could do some twirls as well to foreshadow his X form. For smash attacks, mayhaps he could ram his wheel into his opponents. For his special, he could throw one of many types of bombs at you for his standard, perhaps doing different things depending on the type of bomb. These bombs would be based off the ones in the news event. His side could be a dash attack, which leaves behind many miniature Metatons with parasols in his wake. His dance special could summon a disco ball that shoots blue and orange lasers at nearby players. His recovery could be him rocketing up, similarly to many moments in the game, and perhaps in his wake he could leave some bacon ingredients like in the game. His final smash would very obviously be him transforming into X, transforming his moveset and allowing him to do all sorts of crazy dance moves with them legs. Sure, there's not a chance in the universe he'll be added, but if he were, this moveset would be one of the most unique, creative, and fun in said universe. Well, those are my dumbass predictions. If you have any characters you would like to see, leave them in the comments below. Make sure you include potential movesets, because if I get enough comments, I may just make a video on viewer-suggested characters in the future. Maybe. This has been the Spectre, and remember to have fun, stay safe, and... hold up, I think I'm forgetting someone. Oh yeah, Shrek! And if they don't add him, I'm boycotting Nintendo, because clearly that's how things work, right? Right?